Oh, I almost forgot. So, I was able to successfully flash a bad image on the Arduino. Let me see if I can get it to power up. Charging my flashlight through the computer. Oh, God. Damn it. Jeez. I just blinded myself. I grabbed the flashlight and it just blasted me. This is the one that I have that like has like pinhole focus. And you go like that down to like that. Some chromatic aberration. Anyway, it's one of my favorite cheap ones, and they don't sell these ones anymore. It's got a little display on it, tells you the percentage. It's really quite nice. Anyway, so I wanted to show you. I played around with the logo height and width. The problem was my thing I designed, I don't have any photo editing software on my Windows computer. And honestly, I don't know what to trust. That's the other thing with Windows. Like, what software can I edit photos with that's not going to be like some scammy weird crap? So, let's come over here and get this camera over here so I can do two things at once. And, I need to turn this radio down, the one that doesn't work. Oh no, that's the other one. Okay, so we're gonna plug in this guy here. And we probably, okay. There it went there. See that down on the bottom? That's what it does. And I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway, at least it put it on there. So we got all the channels from 24 megahertz to whatever. The other thing I need to do is, if I wanted to adjust the frequency that, say, channel 6 is. So, like, if we're looking at this, and we're on 27025, which is channel 6, it's going to be something like 16, 17 megahertz coming out of this thing. But if that doesn't work with my radio, I need to be able to adjust that. I need to be able to come up with a different number. And I couldn't tell where he was using that part of the code. It doesn't really make sense to me, but a lot of things don't make sense to me. We'll go in here, and I'm going to just kind of go and look through this really quick. And if one of you guys catches something, you can just say, hey, I saw that in the video. Alright. I should really be doing screen captures for this kind of stuff. But then I got to do either a voiceover, or I got to pull out the microphone, and then I got to run OBS Studio and do video editing, and just like, Okay. So, very beginning. Okay, so we've got the library for wire, the library for the display, the library for the synthesizer, and then address was found using the I2C port scanner found in the Circuit Secrets video. Okay, I need to learn about that. So screen address is X, it's a binary, right? Yeah. And he did something where he took the binary and then like went times 2. Define screen address. So basically all this other text with these lines here must mean that you can just put this in here and it doesn't mean anything. And until you put like the pound sign, it doesn't mean anything. So we're looking at pound sign or hashtag or whatever you want to call it. I grew up calling it pound sign. I don't know where they come up with this hashtag crap. Pound sign include with those pointer brackets, greater than, less than, wire.h. So all this other stuff, I'm starting to realize that you can just put whatever you want in here. And I don't know that any of this actually needs to be here. Like, see that line with the asterisk? I notice I see that in 2 different times. Does that have to be there to put this text here, I wonder? / asterisk text, a bunch of shit. And then each line has a / / and then the line that has nothing has nothing. And then it says / / So I'm not sure if it's just he did it for aesthetic purposes to make it look clean. So you read the information. This Adafruit is in a different color, so that must mean something. The display object takes the screen width, height, the address of the wire object, and the reset pin as arguments. The reset pin is set to -1 if it shares the Arduino reset pin. Adafruit display. Okay, I see that. So that's calling out something there, I guess. I don't know. And then you have the variable to hold the desired frequency information for the SI 5351. Unsigned long. VFO frequency is 26.965.00000 or whatever, how many zeros. It's probably in hertz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not good at counting on here. 6, whatever. Anyway, so that's channel 1, but I don't know what that means or why this thing starts on 11A. That's the other thing. The transmit offset frequency, which is based on the circuit the VFO is being used in. Example, in some radios use a frequency doubler for transmit, in which case the offset needs to be calculated based on the target frequency, which is too cumbersome for this symbol design. So injection after the doubler with no offset is preferred method. Some radios use a local 10.24 oscillator and the offset IF. It is simply mixed with other local oscillator and would be minus 1024. Where's that? Right there. Check the data sheet. So 1024 minus 269650. Okay, so let's go to channel 1. Okay, and let's get the frequency counter up and running. Okay, I think I know what we're doing now. Okay, I gotta get my probe on this thing. Okay, so 26965 minus 10 240 would be 16 1672514 is what I got on my counter. So, okay, so all I have to do is just change that unsigned long offset to come up with the frequency I need. Okay, I don't know why I never understood this before. So the whole frequency is just calibrated off of that offset of that other local oscillator. Oh my god. God, I feel stupid. How did I not realize that before? I'm like, oh yeah, why is this I mean, I've converted radios to 10 meters, and I just kind of like didn't quite understand. It was like, well, change this and it will be this, but I didn't understand that all you were really doing was subtracting that 10.24 from the fundamental frequency that you're transmitting on. Like, wow. So now, that right there is super simple. I can figure this out now. So whatever I need to do, whatever frequency I need to come up with to make my radio work, if something's wrong with it, and like I don't, like that other one was working at a much higher frequency. It was the Midland, the PL02A, but I think it has that same oscillator. It was working at different frequencies. I wrote down stuff on the paper, and it was way higher. Like, for example, let me go and check channel 38. We'll go up to 38, and I'll tell you what this thing reads. Okay, we're on 38, and 17145 into the counter, and 17972 was the frequency that was making it work. Unless this is the frequency from the Cobra, and it might be, actually, now that I thought about it. I'm not sure if I made a truth table for that other thing. Well, the only thing I have left to do is tomorrow I'm getting some circuit boards, and I'm going to make one of these and put it on a board. And I've got three more nanos coming. So let me show you what I got here. So we got that. That's all going to go on a board. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. Today, because it's late. And then we'll come over here and I got these Elegoo boards, which should be good. They make decent printers, so. Amazon. Okay. I'm not logged into my account on here, so I'll have to look it up. Don't they usually call them perf boards? I think they do. And yeah, so basically these ones right here, Elegoo 32 pack. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get like the right size or not. So they look like pretty good quality. I saw some other boards that just really looked terrible. Might even be able to get away with that one or that one. Definitely not that one, but they call out the dimensions here. 1.57 inches by 2.36. I think that one would work. And then this one definitely would work. 2.75 by 3.5. We're getting tired. And then 1.9 by 2.75. Yeah, I think any of those might work. I don't think this one would. Maybe. But that's what I ordered. I'll leave a link for it if you guys are interested. I know that they've got pretty good reviews. I actually wanted to get a different kind. And they have these. Somebody said they smelled like formaldehyde, I think. Was it these? These are a copy of Radio Shack's boards. Maybe not these ones. No, not these ones. I'm going to show you. There's some... Back in the day, Radio Shack used to make a certain board. These are the ones that have really bad reviews. You see, they're not double-sided, and I think somebody said they smelled like formaldehyde. And they're just like, they're drilled really poorly. Come in here. It doesn't want to let me go to the reviews. But watch this. So we go into reviews. Where's the pictures? I wanted to see the damn pictures. Maybe it's not these ones. There was some really bad. Are you kidding me? I don't want to log into... See, you're not going to let me see the reviews unless I log in? That's shady. Shady Amazon. Anyway, they had them where they're all chipped up and they looked funky. These are the ones that I wanted. Because I could put the nano in there, and if it fits in between any of these, I would be able to have leads that I could solder next to it. With the way that I'm doing it now, I've just got a bunch of damn soldering spots, and I have to like solder each individual lead. And unless you can like put 2 pins in the same hole, these are the kind of boards that I think are easier to use. See this? That's a copy of a Radio Shack board. I'm telling you. See? Radio SHAEK. They changed the Radio Shack logo from the... All he did was they changed the C to an E. Radio Shack. I'm telling you, man, Radio Shack sold these boards exactly the same back in the 80s and 90s and God knows when. I remember having them, and when I was a kid, I had a bunch of these. But I don't feel like they're worth $9 for 15. Unfortunately. I'm not sure the best place to buy boards, but these green ones are usually pretty good quality. The blue ones are good quality. The brown ones are usually garbage, in my opinion. But I don't have anything laying around to do projects. And I'm going to spend $3 for a single board. But see, the problem is with a board like this, when you put your chip in there, you don't have anything else to solder to except for that. And you got to keep... You can't make a clean connection as much. If you bring your wire through the next hole over and then touch it to the other one and bridge it, then you can get a cleaner thing, and that's what I'll end up doing. But you're limited because it's all single pins, you know. I mean, it's like a breadboard with no jumpers, you know. So anyway, we ordered those, and then there was a deal where there was 3 nanos with USB-Cs for $9. And I thought, wow, I just paid $6 or $7 for one earlier. Here's the actual, like, real one. I don't know if they'll show up on here because I'm not logged in with Prime. These would be cool to have right here. These things here, this would make your life pretty easy. So one of these sockets here, you need to plug this thing into here. I actually really do want something like this because then I can actually just, no circuit board, guys, nothing. I'll just do everything straight from this thing with the little connectors as long as they're good quality. And this is actually probably better than a breadboard, really, unless you got to build other circuits. But yeah, I mean, like, this is pretty slick, really, I think about it. And it shows you the pins on the outside. What, $15 for 2 of them? Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. $9 for 2, 3 for 12. ESP32 is $20. $11 for 3, and I think that what this is the one I ordered, but if you're not Prime, it's not $9. You'll run into that a lot, and I'm not logged in. But it looked like this one that I ordered from the header pins, because the header pins are not attached on the ones I ordered. Now, see, I could just put my wires in here and solder to this board, okay? And that would probably be okay. And then just, you know, if you had everything wire to wire, so let's say you go straight, that's why I didn't solder my display. Solder the wires from here to your display, solder the wires from here to your synthesizer. You don't need any board or anything, and you'd be good to go. Just don't move it around a lot. You run the risk of breaking the wires, but like, I think that would be the easiest way to do it. But I ordered the perf boards just because. So that shows the wrong one. Isn't that interesting? Micro, and then I thought they showed a USB somewhere else, a C. So this is the one I had already ordered. So I spent $7 on one all by itself. Now this is from the DYables, so I know that they're decent, and that was why at first I just ordered one, because I'm like, I don't want to order 3 if they're all bad or they all suck or they all have some kind of issue. And I guess some of these don't have a bootloader on them, or they don't want to work because you don't have the CH340 driver. Anyway. I still don't see the other one. $17 for 10? That's only these. They don't come with anything else. Interesting. That's a lot of... That's a... 10 of them? I don't know. Is that a good deal? $1.70 a piece? I don't want 10 of them. I only want like 1 or 2. I'm not seeing it. But anyway, the one I ordered, 3 of them for $9. They're USB-C. They are not soldered. And they look like they come with a cable. But I'm not sure. I don't really care. The cables they send with them are pretty damn short, so it's doing me much good when they're that short if I'm gonna have it on my bench and use it. There's another breakout board, which is kind of cool. Is it for a different one? It's too bad those aren't a little bit cheaper. That looks like for a 3D printer motor carrier. Right here. 3 pieces, $9.99. Not soldered. USB-C. And they got a few reviews. Oh, they even give you the pin out. Wouldn't that be nice, right? If I'd have known that when I started getting into all this. So, anyway, I'll leave a link for those things, and I just think that's like super good deal. Now, you guys know that Prime Days are coming up, which means the prices are going to go up. So, you might grab it now if you're thinking about it, because I don't think it'll be cheaper for Prime. And I think Prime Days are like in 3 days, or maybe less than that. So, the 7th or the 8th, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'm about pooped, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you later.